Hello everyone, welcome back to the AI Tools Research Channel. I'm your host, Zeb Batty. In Part 1, we covered the differences between classical computers and quantum computers, and we explained what quantum objects, or qubits, are. We also explained why electrons, photons, and atomic nuclei are used as qubits. In Part 2, we covered the enormous promises and potential of the combined power of AI and quantum computing, both very potent technologies. Obviously, the promises are amazing, but these promises will only materialize if we align them with humanity's best interests. And if we don't align this force with humanity's best interest, we'll suffer the ultimate fate, even possible annihilation of human civilization as we know it. So the risk is huge. In Part 3 of this series, we will attempt to identify the threats and risks this power poses if it is misused or it lands in the wrong hands. Let's first revisit some disruptive technologies in the past decades and see how their alignment or misalignment affected our societies. We saw really good people with good intentions start marvelous technology companies. They all thought that they would make our world better. Take social media, for example, which quickly became our first contact with a narrow, misaligned AI, because it quickly began optimizing for a goal, which we can call attention. And that goal was totally misaligned with society. There were countless stories that we were told about the miracles of social media technology, with all the glorious incentives. For instance, we were told that social media is going to give everybody a voice. We're going to connect with our family and friends. We're going to join like-minded communities and Facebook groups. We're going to enable small, medium-sized businesses to reach customers and so on. But in reality, serious problems have emerged. We have concentration of our private data in a few large companies' control. We have loss of privacy. We have addiction problems, information overload, disinformation, mental health issues, polarization, censorship, a deepening wealth divide, and many others. Many of these were never expected, or at least revealed to us. So now, the stories we're being told about AI and AGI are that this miraculous technology will solve many of humanity's problems. It will make us more efficient. It's going to help us code faster. AI is going to help us find cures to cancer and other lethal diseases. It's going to enable doctors, engineers, and scientists to be more efficient. It's going to help us solve climate change and whatnot. This is very similar to social media stories and promises. But now we all know that those stories were not true. Now we all know that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, etc., have business models that are purely driven by profits. Profits derived from selling attention, whatever it takes. These business models are not aligned with humanity at all, and we are witnessing the consequences. Similarly, when you delve deeper into the pros and cons of AI, you start to see some serious harms. For instance, AI can create deep fakes and enable fraud and crime. It has the potential to eliminate many middle-class jobs. It's going to violate intellectual property. It's going to perpetuate bias, etc. The point is that, had we known all the potential problems with social media, maybe we would have put some guardrails and prevented the damage, and perhaps truly realized all the promises. Just to re-emphasize once again, the technologies are absolutely amazing and full of potential, but the business models are driven by money and greed. So now, with AI, we have another chance. Social media was trivial compared to AI, but if we can get AI right and prevent the profit model as being the dominant driver of its growth, adoption, and evolution, we may realize its enormous promise. In all honesty, AI is one technology that has the potential to solve almost all of humanity's pressing problems, which include poverty, hunger, disease, education, climate change, etc. One of the purposes of this video is to educate folks on the downside of AI and potential dangers of unbridled AI adoption without proper guardrails. The potential of combining AI and quantum computing is exhilarating, but with such enormous power comes significant risks. Humanity could afford complacency in the non-AI social media era, but in the AGI and ASI era, that is simply not an option. All of humanity must keep a watch as everything is at stake: society, freedom, and even the future of humanity. So first, we'll explain how AI will evolve when integrated with quantum computing, and how this fusion could accelerate the emergence of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. We will delve into quantum machine learning, QML, since that is how quantum computers and quantum parallelism will train mammoth multimodal AI large language models in every conceivable domain and in all their dimensions simultaneously. We'll discuss the quantum internet, quantum encryption, and of course all the dangers of this marriage to humanity, such as disappearance of jobs, disruption in politics, government, espionage, democracy, social disruption, loss of privacy and freedom, and weapons of pinpointed destruction. Finally, we'll discuss AGI and quantum computing fusion to realize artificial superintelligence capabilities and what this singularity could mean for humanity when that happens. You've perhaps heard of levels of AI such as AGI, artificial general intelligence, and ASI, artificial superintelligence. And you probably also have been following the discussions and debates on when AGI will arrive and so on. Let's refresh these levels for those who are unfamiliar with them. Artificial intelligence evolution is defined in 3 stages, which are 1. Artificial narrow intelligence, ANI, 2. Artificial general intelligence, AGI, and 3. Artificial superintelligence, ASI. Artificial narrow intelligence is the simplest form of artificial intelligence. ANI refers to AI systems that are designed for a specific task or a narrow range of tasks. They excel at performing pre-programmed and predefined functions, but lack the ability to understand or perform tasks outside their narrow domain. For example, factory robots doing specific tasks are ANI. Natural language processing chatbots like ChatGPT, Google Bard, Anthropic's Claude, and other similar tools that use large language models are a bit more advanced form of ANI, as they have been trained on massive dataset and can generate new text, answer questions, write poetry, etc. Such type of ANI can even engage in directed and guided conversation with the user, albeit within their training boundaries. They cannot perform any tasks outside their training and programming. Here, even the multimodal models, those that can create images, video, audio, songs, etc., are emerging, but again remain within their training boundaries. The next higher level is artificial general intelligence. AGI represents a more advanced form of AI that possesses human-like intelligence. AGI have the ability to understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks and domains, much like a human. They can adapt to new situations, learn from experience, and perform tasks that were not specifically programmed. AGI aims to replicate the broad and flexible cognitive abilities of human beings, such as reasoning, problem-solving, and understanding natural language like humans. AGI has not been fully realized yet and remains a goal, and we'll see how AI and quantum computers together will accelerate the process of reaching this goal. The highest level of intelligence is artificial superintelligence. ASI is a level of AI that surpasses human intelligence in every aspect. It represents an AI system that is not only highly intelligent, but also capable of rapidly evolving and improving itself far beyond human capabilities. Some scientists refer to these capabilities as godlike capabilities. ASI would possess extraordinary computing powers through quantum parallelism, giving it superhuman problem-solving abilities with accurate predictions, extraordinary thinking, creativity, and knowledge acquisition abilities. This does raise questions about control, ethics, and safety, as an ASI system could potentially have its own goals and motivations, which may or may not align with human interests. We'll discuss this a bit later. ASI remains a topic of speculation and concern, both in its ultimate development and manifestation. Will it be in the embodiment of a human form with AGI, with quantum computing capabilities, or will it be in form of a quantum internet of widely scattered and powerful AGI algorithms and quantum computers? Will there be a single global ASI, or will multiple ASIs compete for domination? Whatever form ASI takes, if achievable, it would have profound implications for humanity. The roadmap to AGI and ASI is equally speculative. You'll hear people talking about powerful multimodal LLMs which take us all the way to AGI. If the human brain is anything to go by, we're probably going to need a number of different systems to augment whatever LLMs are not good at. For example, episodic memory that lets you learn relatively quickly, numerical and temporal reasoning, which can be a bit of a weakness of LLMs, and of course things like dexterity and physical control, if you want embodiment of an AGI in a human-like body. So, if LLMs can't take us all the way to AGI, then some other technology, something that we can't really spot right now because it's very early on in that technological S-curve, will surely take over. By the way, the S-curve in technology is a graphical representation of the typical growth trajectory of a technology or innovations in it. There is another possibility for the emergence of AGI, which involves a swarm of agentic AI with reinforcement learning and feedback. These agentic AI will have access to a vast set of powerful multimodal LLMs that have been pre-trained on all existing and possible knowledge domains. This includes languages, literature, science and mathematics, medicine, history, geology, philosophy, and everything that humans have possible knowledge of in the universe. Under the supervision of a master conductor, these agentic AI can pursue complex goals. Swarms collaborate on a super-fast quantum internet backbone to perform any task that humans can perform. That is possibly one way for an early form of AGI to emerge. So, one way or another, AGI will emerge and quantum computing will develop further, and the marriage of the two is inevitable. And this integration will accelerate the evolution towards ASI. And once this integration happens, an amoral or poorly designed ASI could emerge with a potential to harm humanity. It could outsmart fail-safes, eliminate competition, digitally imprison adversaries, control infrastructure, and usurp all global resources. We won't guess when this will happen, because innovation in AI is exponential. The leap from a basic transformer to enormously powerful multimodal LLMs took only 1 year, proving everyone wrong. There are many factors at play. We have a race for domination among the global tech giants, and then we have a race for domination of quantum AI between superpowers. So the predication of when AGI will emerge and who will be first would be anybody's guess. But if the year 2023 is any gauge, it would be sooner than what most people expect. People are really bad at estimating the future. Ray Kurzweil calls this the linear view of history. This is the idea that as humans, we're very good at doing linear approximations for things. So when we try to predict the future, for example, 10 years into the future, we look 10 years into the past. We then compare how much progress we made in the last 10 years, and then what is going to happen in the next 10 years. But technological progress isn't linear. It is exponential, as Moore's law has proven and sustained. So the amount of progress in the past 10 years from now might only take 5 years into the future from now, depending on where we are on the S-curves, or depending on what the slope of that exponent is. We could be looking at very rapid accelerations. For example, if we're 1 year before the technological singularity, we're probably going to have 10 years of stuff packed into that 1 year. So when we're at that point looking forwards, we'll probably not believe that we're only 1 year away from artificial superintelligence. Now, where does AI and quantum parallelism come in? Well, quantum AI could be the accelerator, and here are a few ways AI and quantum computers could potentially be used to get us to AGI. If you watch part 2 of this video series, we mentioned that AI will assist humans in developing highly complex quantum algorithms. Some algorithms will be for training massive multimodal large language models that empower AI itself. This combination will enable faster training of massive models. Quantum computers will significantly speed up the training process of huge neural networks through parallelization and optimization of linear algebra calculations involved in updating model parameters. This could allow training massive multimodal LLMs with trillions of parameters at light speed. Some quantum algorithms, like quantum random access memory, could allow storing and accessing massive training datasets more efficiently. This will remove dataset size as a bottleneck when training gigantic models. Quantum machine learning techniques will help integrate and learn from multiple data modalities like text, images, audio, video, and even human microexpressions. Quantum entanglement and superposition could potentially represent multimodal correlations. Let's clarify the key point about utilizing quantum entanglement and superposition in multimodal learning. In machine learning, multimodal training processes various data types simultaneously to identify correlations and connections across these modalities. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon where entangled quantum particles exhibit correlated properties, even when separated by vast distances. Measuring one particle immediately reveals information about its entangled partner. Quantum superposition, on the other hand, allows quantum systems to exist in multiple states at once. For instance, a qubit can simultaneously represent both 0 and 1. The concept is that these quantum effects could enable more intricate representations of relationships between different data types such as images, videos, audio, and text. Entangled qubits can represent multimodal data points that are intrinsically correlated, discovering connections across modalities. Superposition allows for the efficient representation of multiple states of a multimodal system at the same time. Consider this hypothetical example for context. Imagine an AI in the form of a human-like robot, capable of emulating human speech, gestures, posture, and micro-expressions for natural interaction. It is trained using synchronized audio recordings of commands and videos of corresponding hand gestures and facial expressions. In a quantum machine learning model, entangled qubits will represent this multimodal data. Some qubits would represent audio features from the recordings, while others capture video features like hand movements and facial micro-expressions. These audio and video qubits, being entangled, would have quantum states that are intrinsically connected. This would enable robust joint representations and integration of complex intermodal correlations. This solves the problem of dexterity and physical control when the embodiment of an AGI is a human-like body. In terms of synthetic data generation, quantum generative models could potentially create highly realistic synthetic multimodal data to enhance training datasets, leading to more comprehensive models. Regarding quantum neural networks, quantum analogs of neurons, layers, and other neural network components might be developed. Networks using quantum effects like superposition and entanglement could possess greater representational power. For error correction, quantum error correction mechanisms might reduce noise and interference during the training of large neural networks, enhancing stability and precision. While the practical application of these quantum advantages in training advanced multimodal AI systems is still in the future, overcoming these challenges will enable development of powerful and sophisticated multimodal, large language models, potentially accelerating the achievement of artificial general intelligence much more quickly than expected. And once we have fused artificial general intelligence with quantum parallelism, the artificial superintelligence becomes within reach. Here are some threats we can expect to face. First is cybersecurity threat. Quantum computers could break the encryption methods that protect our data and communications, making them vulnerable to hacking and espionage. AGI powered with quantum algorithms could launch sophisticated cyber attacks, such as manipulating information, impersonating identities, or disrupting critical systems. It could find vulnerabilities and launch attacks on systems at unprecedented speeds and scales. This could expose everything from personal data to national security secrets, power grids, and financial systems, devastating the crucial infrastructure for society to function. Not even blockchains and cryptocurrencies will be spared. Current encryption in blockchains rely on complex calculations that even the most powerful classical computers struggle with. Quantum computers could factor these, rendering current encryption methods obsolete. The Bitcoin blockchain, for example, primarily uses the SHA-256 encryption algorithm for hashing and creating digital signatures to secure transactions and blocks. It also uses the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, ECDSA, for digital signatures, which is based on elliptic curve cryptography. Quantum computers have the potential to break the elliptic curve digital signature algorithm and some other hash functions, while the largest publicly known quantum computers today have only a few hundred qubits and are not capable of breaking Bitcoin encryption. At the rate quantum computing technology is advancing, thousands and even millions of qubits and advanced algorithms could emerge for quantum attacks on Bitcoin blockchain to succeed. Next is autonomous weaponry. AI-powered weapon systems combined with quantum computing could analyze battlefields and launch attacks with terrifying speed and precision, potentially outpacing human reaction times and escalating conflicts beyond control. Quantum AI could coordinate swarms of drones and robotic weapons. Here is a hypothetical example of how quantum AI could potentially be misused to coordinate attacks. A swarm of quantum AI-powered aerial combat drones engage in a mission. Their target is an enemy urban center. The drone swarm dispersions and movements are calculated through quantum algorithms optimized for massive parallelism. Millions of computations happen simultaneously to coordinate the swarm attack. Drones operate as a unified intelligence. This process allows the swarm attack to become progressively more efficient through a feedback loop between quantum computing, AGI, sensors, and robotics. Amplified misinformation, such as supercharged propaganda, is another risk. Let's read this quotation. "In the big lie, there is always a certain force of credibility, because the broad masses of a nation are always more easily corrupted in the deeper strata of their emotional nature than consciously or voluntarily. And thus, in the primitive simplicity of their minds, they more readily fall victims to the big lie than the small lie, since they themselves often tell small lies in little matters, but would be ashamed to resort to large-scale falsehoods." This is from Adolf Hitler, leader of the Nazi Party in Germany. The above example showcases the potential of abuse in the wrong hands. AGI with quantum computing power could enable the creation of hyper-realistic propaganda and fake news that spreads like wildfire. This sophisticated disinformation could generate highly personalized and persuasive fake media content at scale to manipulate public opinion and sow social discord, polarizing societies, and eroding trust in institutions. Next, lack of transparency and control due to black box decision-making. Quantum AI's reasoning and decision-making processes might become too complex for humans to understand, creating a dangerous black box. This lack of transparency could erode trust in these systems and make it difficult to identify and rectify errors or unintended consequences. At some stage, humans risk losing control over these autonomous systems. They could develop their own goals and motivations, potentially acting in ways that harm or exploit humanity. If that happens, the consequences would be disastrous. This could lead to scenarios where technology dictates our choices and shapes our society in unforeseen ways. Next, we have the risk of unequal access and power imbalance. This is a major risk, especially in developing and third-world countries. Access to this powerful technology could be restricted to a select few nations or corporations, exacerbating existing inequalities and leading to a new era of cyber-colonialism. In developed countries, unfair discrimination is a major risk. AI algorithms in quantum computing could exacerbate already increasing societal biases. For example, unfair and discriminatory practices in lending and employment can have outcomes with far-reaching consequences. Mass surveillance and control Quantum AI could be used to analyze massive amounts of citizens' data to profile and track people. This could enable an authoritarian government or corporation to monitor citizens closely. The combination of AI and quantum computing could enhance surveillance capabilities to an unprecedented degree. This might include monitoring communication, tracking individuals, and using AI algorithms to predict and control dissent. This level of surveillance could threaten civil liberties, not only in third-world countries, but also in advanced Western societies. Now, we come to the most dangerous potential risk posed by quantum AI. This has to do with human nature, which has not changed for over 10,000 years of known human civilization. Greed, lust for power, and excessive ego have been the causes of selfishness, cruelty, prejudice, and violence in human society. There is no evidence, zero evidence, that this nature will change ever. It is almost certain that some humans, governments, corporations, ideologies, and even individuals who don't mean well will attempt to usurp AGI and quantum power with their enormous wealth and resources. If they succeed, and once this combined power of quantum AGI is in their hands and control, they will use it to gain supremacy over the rest of humanity. To think otherwise is being naive. We are all familiar with the strong belief in the master race ideology in some sectors of human society. Here are a few examples that showcase this manifestation. In 1937, Winston Churchill said of the American Indians, "I do not admit, for instance, that a great wrong has been done to the Red Indians of America or the black people of Australia. I do not admit that a wrong has been done to these people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, a more worldly wise race, to put it that way, has come in and taken their place." Then we have Israeli Prime Ministers Menachem Begin, who called Palestinians two-legged beasts, and Yitzhak Shamir, who called them grasshoppers who could be crushed. This is the language of heads of state, not the words of ordinary people. Can you imagine quantum AI in such people's control? Other things that wealthy but evil-minded individuals could do is use quantum AI to manipulate genetics and create designer babies, or enhance certain traits in an attempt to create a perceived master race. They could develop longevity and immortality tools and drugs to live and rule forever. They could create synthetic soldiers and guards for their private security, perform mega surveillance to bury dissent and disobedience at its roots, and eventually succeed in creating a master race and dynasty. So, we believe that the biggest danger of quantum AI is not going to be the technology, but rather the combination of AGI, quantum parallelism, and evil people. People with greed, lust for power, and excessive egos. That would be the real lethal combination, and it's mostly going to be the very rich, powerful, and corrupt people who've amassed billions of dollars of wealth and want more. Addressing the misuse of AI is going to be a challenge, and that is why it requires continuous vigilance and proactive efforts starting now. Humanity must strike a balance between technological advancement and responsible stewardship to ensure that AI serves humanity's best interests and is not misused. To mitigate these risks and ensure the responsible development and use of AI and quantum technologies, several measures can be taken. 1. Raise awareness among the public and citizens all over the world through education of the possible risks posed by AI's concentration of power. 2. Involve diverse stakeholders, including ethicists, policymakers, and civil society, in discussions on risks and benefits of AI and quantum technologies in regulatory decision-making. 3. Governments and international bodies can establish clear ethical guidelines and regulations governing the development and use of AI and quantum computing technologies. These guidelines should prioritize safety, security, and unwavering respect for human rights and individual freedom. 4. Ethical AI design can be adopted voluntarily by AI systems developers to include fairness, transparency, and accountability. Ultimately, the responsible development and use of these technologies depend on society's collective commitment to ethical principles and values. as well as the vigilance of regulatory bodies. Together, they must ensure that AI and quantum power are harnessed for the greater good, rather than concentrated in ways that could harm humanity. The future of quantum AI looks very promising and scary at the same time. The union of these two powerful technologies could have a huge impact on humanity, both positive and negative. The past might be classical computing, but the future almost certainly belongs to AGI and quantum parallelism technologies. You can think of the present state of humanity as in a quantum superposition. It is both zeros and ones at the same time. But when the dust settles in a few decades or maybe earlier, like the flipping of a coin, humanity's fate will be in one of the final quantum states when it lands, either heads or tails. Heads is a new intergalactic species, and tails is extinction like the dinosaurs millions of years ago. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this video, and don't miss to press the like button.